What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition MC that writes fiction back at it with another reaction. Oh, we got some more fantastic hip hop. Everybody's clowning him for this Irish freestyle. I didn't listen to it because honestly, it's just with the way Drake is going out and this kind of self destructive, self image, it was self destructive image that's going on. I don't any lick of anything that you could try to preserve, it's slowly just getting smaller and smaller. But hey, let's see what Fantastic Hip Hop's got to say. But if you're new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, notification bells on so you won't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 10K for 2025. OG members, what's good with you? How's the year treating you so far? Let's go ahead and get into it.
Now, Drake has just dissed Kendrick Lamar within a way that we have not seen from him in quite some time, as to kick off this new year in hip hop, instead of ranting on streams or whining on social media, Drake has actually gotten back in the booth and has released a new song where instead of switching genres or languages in an attempt to try and just run away from everything that Kendrick Lamar did to him and represented, now Drake is once again trying to take him head on with nothing more than his bars and a beat from Conductor Williams. And now, as this marks just in a few days the second full-on record that is dissing Kendrick Lamar to come out this year, and this is from none other than Drake, what is clear is that the rap game is running around and trying to find a way to take down the undisputed.
To be fair, though, I don't think that Joey Badass's "The Ruler's Back" was it was a diss to Kendrick. So if that's what he meant by two tracks, aimed at Kendrick, I don't think that
Champion of everything, and really with Drake here, what it seems like he's trying to specifically do is, after seeing how every single way he tried to make a comeback just failed miserably, whether that was releasing more music, switching genres, or trying to be a full-on streamer. Now Drake is trying to get back in the rap game by poking Kendrick enough to the point where it gives him the attention that he would otherwise never get at this point. But now, before we dive into every single diss Drake threw out at Kendrick here and why he is saying all of these things at this very moment, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And so now, with this new track from Drake, which is seemingly titled Fighting Irish, right in line with everything else he has done ever since he lost to Kendrick Lamar within a fashion like we have never seen before. This song is very emotional, and Drake is showing that his feelings did really get hurt bad in this beef, but instead of acting like a total clown, Drake is at least putting this sadness and bitter feeling of lost back into the bars directly, which, hey, after somehow managing to make every single wrong choice for almost an entire calendar year, this is somewhat of a step in the right direction. And now, with Drake actually presenting himself within a way that somebody who calls themselves an MC always should, for better or for worse, he does say a lot here, and seemingly does two main things, which the first one is to try and justify the crash out he has been on and why he's been acting like the biggest fool in music right now, but then also, and in the greater sense, he is trying to get back in some sort of musical conflict with Kendrick Lamar, because for the first time since Family Matters, Drake is actually flipping Kendrick's bars from his diss tracks to try and dispute them, and instead of just denying everything in the strangest way possible like he did on The Heart Part 6, Drake is somewhat on the offensive here, despite how weird it is that he is doing this all of these months later. And so now, after Drake starts this track off by admitting that during this legendary summer that was going on in hip-hop, he just completely missed it, which I guess is his way of saying that he never delivered those summer vibes that he promised after the beef, which I mean, I guess some self-awareness is better than nothing. From here, Drake immediately gets back into his delusional bag as he tries to call out Kendrick and find ways to discredit and diminish his win, as after framing himself as the victim of the entire music industry, he tries to discredit everything with bars like "the world fell in love with the gimmicks, even my brothers got tickets."
Man, and I guess that's freaking him trying to talk about the pop-out show and LeBron James freaking going to different things like that, and then trying to call it gimmicks. Yo, Drake's level of delusion is wild. You poked the bear for so long. You antagonized. You started. You wanted this. And when it was delivered, and when those punches, those haymakers, those knockouts was too much, you was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then all of that, literally, with all the tracks, the leaks, and I will admit, it's not that the 100 gigabytes was a bad idea. And I think more artists, if they have it, should do something like that. It is all about timing. And that's where it was just all like, really, you could have did this any other time, but you did it during this. Oh, okay. Then with the crazy tracks that he released, whether it was the Hey There Delilah Canadian remix or whatever, the Lotto, or no, not Lotto, that Sexy Red track where her voice cracked, everything that was dropping was just hot garbage or super galactic mid. And it's like you can't even show, and the Drake stats are just like them. They will, as artists, not even know the high level of artistry. And maybe they do know. And that's what makes them even more bad, because the way that Kendrick went at this in the most diabolic artistic way is crazy. So these lines is crazy that it was all gimmicks. It was all gimmicks. So
Which now the first part of this bar is of course trying to say that everything Kendrick did against him was a gimmick, and that's just trying to underplay what all of it meant and represented in the greater sense of hip hop and the music industry as a whole. Exactly. Which I don't even have to go into how pathetic and wrong of a statement that is, and really for Drake to even use this angle is still showing that he is trying to rewrite and revise history in his own delusional way instead of moving forward. But what's actually showing us something new here is in the second part of this bar, where Drake is referring to all of the people who turned sides on him, and specifically people who he once considered friends who he thought would never leave his side, which includes names like LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan, and James Harden, who all seemingly chose Team Kendrick by going to one of the greatest shows of all time, which of course happened right after Drake took his L with the pop out. And now with Drake actually being a little introspective here and reflecting on how he felt within a way that's actually human, this part is not bad in isolation. But of course, when you remember that he has already shown how he's felt about guys like LeBron James and DeMar DeRozan turning on him, as he has already done things like unfollowing guys like LeBron, and in the case of DeMar DeRozan, he crashed out at him in person when he went to the Raptors game, which was just so embarrassing. Seriously. Altogether, when you see the real-life way that Drake handled these things, it really does take away from the moment and just makes Drake seem more pathetic than ever when you know the reality of how he reacted, as opposed to how it's portrayed in the lyrics. And now beyond these lines, where things in this track really pick up and get a lot more intense, especially in terms of Drake just sending a clear signal for Kendrick Lamar to come back down and diss him again, is in the second verse, as Drake here really codes this entire performance to not just be written with language and subtle cues that are flipping terms that are associated with Kendrick Lamar and his side of the hip-hop world as a whole. But what's most important here, and if this track makes any sort of impact or causes any sort of reaction, it will be because of this, is the section in this verse where he says, "Who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? See no conversations, boy, I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions. This pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician." Drake is addressing a lot of things as he sets this moment up with the first bar, which
the everything as far as like with what's crazy, here's what's crazy, is that it honestly sound, I know he's trying to go at Kendrick, but these are bars that is for him. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Yeah. These are not singles. These are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Tame Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase, all of that in the link in the description. And just, check it out, because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So anyways, who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? Honestly, Drake's got the most to lose, because according to Kendrick and what Kendrick's values are, he could lose all this stuff and still be good. His identity isn't tied to what he has. Drake, on the other hand, that's a different story. So though he's talking about Kendrick, these lines fit to him talking about himself. See no conversations, boy. I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions. And really, this I feel like, even though he's talking about Kendrick, I feel like this is actually him talking about himself. His empire crumble on the judge's convictions. And it's interesting because I saw this video and they was all like, yo, we need to apologize to Yasin Bey, Mos Def, because in the beginning of 2024, he had said, aren't we looking at this particular empire or whatever starting to crumble currently? And this was before the beef. This was before everything went down. And now we're seeing everything because what I'm seeing is that Drake really doesn't have anything with this particular suit. And a lot of people see that. He's thinking, and some people that are on his team are thinking that, oh, they're scrambling, different things like that. They're scrambling. That must be something to hide. They're denying it. So why don't they show da 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 da? And I feel like this is going to backfire on him to where his empire is going to be freaking crumbling because the judge's conviction or lack of even going further. So I'm gonna leave the full video in the description so y'all can check it out. But let me know y'all's thoughts on this. If you heard the freestyle, what did you think of it? What do you think of my thoughts of him basically projecting? Like, even though these are aimed at Kendrick, I feel like he's weirdly enough gonna be basically prophesizing the things happening to him. I don't think this is going to be something in regards to Kendrick. But who knows? But hey, it's Swiss Composition MC that writes fiction. Back at it with another reaction. Make sure to like, subscribe, notification bells on so you don't miss when I drop a new video on the road to 10K for 2025. Make sure to check out the description for my music, books, comics, and more. All right, y'all. Peace.